Your build could be doing 45% more super damage and you might not even know about it. You could have a 65% damage buff on your grenades just waiting to be unlocked. If you've logged into Destiny 2's Edge of Fate and felt lost, you're not alone. But if you're still thinking in terms of the old stats, you're falling behind. I wanted to make this guide to be incredibly detailed, breaking down systems and numbers few people are talking about. If that sounds like the kind of advantage you want for your builds all expansion long, you know what to do. Now let me tell you why I was so wrong about this update. When Bungie announced this complete armor rework, I'm not gonna lie, the idea of dismantling my armor that I grinded months for was up in my guts. I honestly thought that all of these changes were gonna destroy the game. For the first hours of Edge of Fate, I was just playing because I'd already bought it. Sometime later, I was playing because I actually liked the new changes. And I'm here to tell you, the new armor is actually insane. It's a lot to digest, so let's break down every single component piece by piece. The Armor 3.0 rework is built on three massive pillars. First, a complete stat overhaul. Your stats now go to 200. Tiers are gone and some stats have been completely replaced. Second, armor archetypes. Gear now drops with a specific stat bias, making the hunt for perfect armor more focused. And third, set bonuses are back for the first time since Season of the Drifter. Now, it's critical to know that all your old armor has been converted to this new system. Your old stats have been transferred one-to-one, but your old gear did not receive set bonuses or a stat archetype. We'll get to why that matters later. The biggest immediate change is that mobility, resilience, and recovery are gone as primary armor stats. Mobility is now weapons, resilience is now health, and recovery is now class. The ability stats have new names but keep their function. Discipline is grenade, intellect is super, and strength is melee. I think renaming them was a good idea. It ruins the immersion a tiny bit, but improves understanding a lot better for new players. Okay, let's get into the guts of the system. Each of the 6 stats can now go all the way to 200. The first 100 points give you one benefit, and pushing from 101 to 200 unlocks a powerful secondary bonus. First up, weapons. From 0 to 100, this boosts your reload speed, handling, and damage against minor and major enemies in PvE. From 1 to 200, it buffs your damage against bosses and guardians in PvP. And get this, it gives you up to 100% chance for ammo bricks to contain double ammo. This is a must-have stat. Next, health. The first 100 points give you a flinch resistance and increases the health you get from Orbs of Power. From 1 to 200, it boosts your shield capacity in PvE and your shield recharge speed. Honestly, this kind of feels like a very weak stat in my opinion, because you can literally replace the orb effect with one leg mod, but maybe it could be useful in PvP. Now for class, the first 100 points reduce your class ability cooldown. Simple enough. From 1 to 200, you get an overshield when you cast your ability, up to 40 health in PvE. This is surprisingly useful for hunters and titans using thruster to get a constant defensive buff. This next one is huge, super. From 0 to 100, it massively increases the energy you get from all sources, orbs, mods, everything. From 1 to 200, it buffs your super damage by up to 45% in PvE and 15% in PvP. This is a game changer for damage phases. Next is grenade. 0 to 100 points reduces the cooldown, but from 1 to 200, it increases your grenade damage by a whopping 65% in PvE and 20% in PvP. If you love ability spam, this is your stat. This also affects grapple melee damage. Finally, melee. Same deal, 0 to 100 is cooldown reduction. 1 to 200 boosts your damage by up to 30% in PvE and 20% in PvP. This affects charged melees, uncharged melees, or even glaives. So how do you farm those juicy 200 stats? With armor archetypes. Every new armor piece drops with one of 6 archetypes, like Gunner or Paragon. This guarantees a primary and secondary stat. For example, a Gunner piece will always have weapons as its highest stat and Grenade as its second highest. It makes the grind so much more focused. And yes, you can use ghost mods to target specific archetypes. Armor also drops in tiers from 1 to 5. Higher tier armor from harder content simply has higher stat totals. Tier 4 armor gets an extra mod point for 11 total energy. And tier 5 armor, this is the endgame. It drops with the highest stats, 11 energy, and a special tuning socket. This lets you move 5 points from one stat to another. This is probably one of the best changes so far for me. I love this. It's like having Artifice armor but for everyone who plays the toughest content. Masterworking has also been adjusted. When you masterwork a new armor piece, it will gain 5 points in the 3 stats that were not selected by this archetype. So if you have a brawler piece with weapons, health, and class stats, masterworking it will give you +5 to super, grenade, and melee. A full set of masterworked armor will give you a free 25 points to your 3 3 lowest stats, which is a huge boost. On top of all that, we have set bonuses. Every new armor set has perks for wearing 2 or 4 pieces. The Bushido set from the Pinnacle Ops is my favorite. The 2-piece heals you on kills with freshly drawn weapons. You can use this perk pretty much in every activity that you do, and it will still help you. It's small but useful. The Tech Sex set from General PvE lets you shred shields with kinetic weapons. And the Last Disciple set from Crucible helps you reload faster and generate special ammo progress from Orbs of Power. But don't forget that you can mix and match. You don't have to commit to a full 4-piece bonus. You could run 2 pieces of Bushido for the healing perk and 2 pieces of the Aeon Renewal set to gain its speed booster perk after a rocket launcher kill. It gives you even more flexibility. And what about the exotics? Bungie hooked us up. When the expansion launched, Ada 1 gave everyone 20 exotic vouchers. You can take these to her and basically custom order an exotic with the exact stat archetype that you want. This is a massive win for build crafting. And for everyone who was playing in the final shape, your old exotic class items have been automatically updated. They've been given custom stat packages based on the perks you chose, so you don't need to regrind them. The left column perk dictates the main stat archetype, and the right column determines the third stat. So what happened to mobility, resilience, and recovery? They're now fixed background stats. Everyone has the equivalent of 100 resilience now, which is a pretty much free 30% damage resistance in PvE. Recovery is fixed at 60. And mobility, well, this is where my fellow hunters will have to cry in the corner. Mobility is fixed at 40 for hunters and 30 for everyone else. If we want that old school speedy feel, we have to use the new leg armor mods. It's a bit of a bummer, but a small price to pay for a system this deep. So that's Armor 3.0. It's a complete paradigm shift. The best advice is to focus on the Gunner and Paragon archetypes to max out your weapons and super stats for the biggest damage gains. This system lets you go deeper than ever before. I honestly thought that these changes were going to destroy the game, as I said, but I couldn't have been more wrong. It's the best armor system that has ever been. But that's the breakdown. I want to know what you are building. Drop a comment below and tell me the craziest stat total you've managed to hit. What set bonuses are you chasing? Let me know. And thanks for watching, Guardians. Now get out there and build a masterpiece.